Greetings, figure freaks. Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys all had a good weekend. Going day by day here myself. Pretty consistent with the reviews. If you missed my Jerry the King Lawler Elite Monday Night Wars review, please check it out. Hopefully you won't get too offended, but I think it's full of laughs, so I think you'll enjoy it. Check it out, please. Today we are doing the Gijoe Classified line, number 158, Breaker. That's Alvin Breaker Kibbe. Now we're getting the first taste of the m.a.s.s device accessory that we are also getting with a couple other figures. I think the next one that's due to be released is the diver set. But this one is coming with Breaker. Check out the back of the box here. Nice little piece of artwork. You got Breaker looking like Obi-Wan jumping across volcanic rock. We got some close-ups. We got his watch. There's an actual digital readout on his watch. Wow. And then up here we got his little chest plate or chest computer. Nice little pictures, but we got some jets flying over. He's holding the volcanic rock tube, compartment, container, whatever. Got some little volcanic activity in the background. Pretty cool. So that's a nice little setup. Good job by the G.I. Joe team. On the side here, we got Breaker blowing up some bubble gum, and on the front here we got the figure. Alternate head with the bubble gum. We got a helmet, gun, and you see the little container with the volcanic rock. Let's open up this guy and see what Breaker is all about. All right, real quick, like we got him outside the box, still in his plastic molding. We got his new backpack, radio pack, which I think is probably a step up from the last one. That last Breaker, the backpack is too bulky, keeps falling out. They're having problems with the pegs kind of staying in. We got the little wire here, which I think, what does that connect to? Maybe the helmet? I don't know. We'll figure that out. We got a little dagger. He actually comes with a gun. So the previous offering of Breaker came with the Ram cycle, and he came with no weapons except that was included with the vehicle itself. So we got the bubble gum blowing head there, which is probably what I'm going to have him displayed with. We don't know. We'll see. Helmet, and of course the containment unit with the volcanic rock substance. I think that's what it is. I mean, that's kind of what they insinuate on the back of the box. But let's bust this guy out and see what is going on with Breaker. Out of the box, we got Breaker here with all of his accessories. We got the little cord, which will plug into the backpack, and then the other side goes into the back of the helmet. Interchangeable, so it can go either way or go both ways. Kind of like me. No, I'm just kidding. We got the backpack here. I would say it's way more lightweight than the previous offering that came with the Ram cycle. It looks a little more like something a military guy would have, actually. A guy that's kind of worried about moving around. Probably wants the shit to be a little lightweight, but as you can see, the antenna folds down, goes back up. I don't think you can pull it out. I'm not going to try to, so be careful with that. Then we got the helmet. Communications helmet with the little mouthpiece there. The wraparound, and then of course the wire from the backpack or the radio pack will plug into the back of the helmet there. Pretty nice looking helmet though, I like it. So I just wonder how that's gonna work with the little mouthpiece or the microphone thing, and him, if you want to have him displayed with the big bubble coming out of his mouth. So we'll see how that works out. Here is the alt head with the bubble. Seen this before with Jubilation Lee and Boom Boom from Marvel Legends. Seems like this is a little more attached down there. It's just like part of the sculpt, where before it was something that was inserted. I don't know. It just seems like more of a tight fit. I'm not going to wiggle it too hard in case it falls out or breaks. We don't want that, right? Looking very Wolfman-ish, man. That beard is thick. And then we do have the gun with silencer. Silencer just kind of plugs in like so. It's good that he got a gun, because I had to give the previous breaker somebody else's gun. You know, your communications, but even the medics got to have some guns too, right? So this is pretty cool. I like the silencer. So they'll be walking around. I like making that noise. We got the little piddly dagger. That's gonna go up right here in his little sheath. And then of course we got the volcanic rock mass device accessory. Looks like some gold in there. It's a little containment unit. I'm not sure how far they're going with this, if we're gonna actually get the machine. I'm sure that we will. Can't remember. I think it's it's the Diver 2-pack that the second one is coming. The second containment is coming with, and then I think it's one of the retro carded. We're getting the third one. I can't remember who though. Let's look at the figure. Let's quick do articulation, but just look at that head. Pretty much the same head. Let's make some comparisons here. Yeah, pretty much. Articulation wise, you know the deal. We got this thing that flips down his little chest computer. I don't think it comes out, but it does like spin. Seems a little loosey-goosey. Gotta watch that knife handle. I don't know. Does this come out? Is it supposed to? Oh, yep, it does. All right. Damn. I'm always kind of worrisome about that, but I got that. Folds open. Got the readout there. Pretty nice. We'll plug that back in. Uh-oh. All right, so just so you know, this thing, the peg is like a T-peg, so it kind of goes in like normal pegs, but then it kind of goes both ways like a T intersection. So you kind of got to like apply it in one side and then kind of push in the other. So it helps to keep it in there, and that's why it can spin, right? Articulation, let's look at the head here. Pivots a little bit, looks down, not very much, looks up, not very much. Shoulders, same old, up like that, twist around, double jointed elbows. Oops. We do have the bicep cut, swivel, pinless elbows as well as knees. We got the pivot and, the pivot down here and twist on the wrist. We do have the butterflies, which is a nice little touch there, especially with these guys that are all super geared up. Stomach crunch is kind of Oh, there we go. We got one. Look at that. Now that ain't bad for a guy with a vest like that. So he's not overly flexible. Well, that's actually pretty damn good right there. So we got that. Clicks a couple times. We got the waist swivel, and it does pivot quite a bit. Nice movement there. Hips, we got the ball joints, does the splits. Thigh cut, swivels all the way around. We got the knees, double jointed pinless. Boot cut, and of course the pivot and tilt on the ankle. So, pretty nice figure. This is the breaker that I wanted. This is more reminiscent of the original. And just, you know, what excites me most is now I have my original figures that I got way back in the 80s when I was like fucking 10 collecting these things. And my mom was like, no, but get Star Wars and Transformers because this is military. And they didn't like the whole aspect of war. And G.I. Joe was like too big. And I was like, Ma, but when they get shot down, you know, they just parachute out of their helicopters and their planes and nobody dies and they shoot lasers. And she wasn't buying that shit. So I conned my dad. I said, Dad, will you go out and buy me some G.I. Joes? And we went out and we got Breaker and his buddy Rock and Roll, his bearded buddy, who is way bigger than him, even though there is a stand. Look at the arm difference there. Wow. So these were my first two figures as a kid. It was these two guys, and then I got Major Blood and the Fang helicopter, and that Fang was dope. We'll bring Rock and Roll back in a second. I like the Fang was just too good, and I didn't have many of the vehicles or all those things, the big things. I had a buddy down the block that got them all, and he had like the Terradrome, he had the USS Flag, he had the water platform, he had the G.I. Joe brigade base or whatever it was. He had everything. He had fucking sectars, and he had that sectars base, and like he was a little rich kid. I was a little rich kid too, but my parents were like, go outside and play. I wasn't a little rich kid. My parents worked hard, but my parents just were like, go outside. And that's what I did. But yeah, I'll tell you about my whole childhood if you want. So yeah, excited to get Breaker and Rock and Roll reunited, and Major Blood for that much. So and we're gonna get a new Major Blood, which is very exciting because Major Blood's my favorite Cobra guy. Favorite G.I. Joe, not sure yet, but I'd have to say probably Snake Eyes. You know, they take the easy way out. Let's just get this guy geared up. So paint is good, no flaws, which I'm kind of shocked at because I had issues with the Jerry the King Lawler that I just did a review of yesterday, and then I got the Psylocke, Thanos 2-pack, Marvel Legends, and Thanos's Infinity Gauntlet was all scuffed up and had some black marks on it. So I fixed them both, and it seems to have worked out, but it's just, why? Why should I have to do that? So no fixer-uppers on this guy. Really nice looking figure. Again, what I wanted in a G.I. Joe classified, a real American hero breaker. This is how he should look. And I like the kind of greenish gray color on the outfit. It's very realistic to me. So let's get this guy geared up. Let's see what's going on with his gear, how he looks with the helmet, bubblegum, bubble, and all that stuff. And of course, we got Breaker all geared up. No real issues here with the helmet, headset, and the bubble head. Except, you know, if that bubble pops, it's going to get all over his microphone, which is like, it's almost touching here, see? So, so we'll put that back down there. You can like maybe stretch it out a little bit so that it's barely touching. But yeah, when that bubble pops, he might have some cleaning to do. So yeah, we got that. Let's give him some effects here. I'm gonna start out with the Hasbro gun effects. See if it fits. It should, right? Oh no, oh dear. Nope, that doesn't fit. How about the smoky effect, huh? Oh boy. Sorry guys. No. Okay, well, let's try the Bobby Valla. Boom. Look at that. Oh boy, look at what I did. Oh my goodness. Get that back in there, I'll straighten out. There we go. I gotta admit, I'm not trying to hate here. I like these effects better. They just sometimes have a hard time fitting into the guns. I think this is something from the Marvel Legends, like maybe that Black Widow or something from the past. I can't remember. Same with these, but they're not fitting in with the G.I. Joe. But I still think they're better than the Bobby Valla ones. These ones aren't too bad, and you got a good range of different sizes, colors, whatever. But I've had issues with these breaking because this is a much harder plastic. And so if this bends a little bit, it gets all white here and it just snaps. So I love the weapons pack for Bobby Valla, but it seemed like, well, I got like the Alpha and the Bravo, and it just seemed like it was, I don't know, maybe lower quality. Not to say it's garbage or anything like that. And hopefully there's been some improvements, but a lot of these blast effects break off, and then I have to like try to get them out, the peg out of the gun, and it's just fucking horse shit, you know. It's a little unnerving. So, but we got this one ready. This looks pretty dang good, to be honest. I like it. One more time with the effects, guys. He's a killing machine, man. Fuck the radio. There you got the cord there, or the wire that goes from the communications backpack into his helmet. Breaker, are you chewing gum again? So, we got the knife up here. Before I forget, so the articulation here, there is a ball joint at the top, the base, or the top here of the torso. So you have movement down there as well as up on the neck. So ball joint up here, ball joint down here, little more articulation. Sometimes this will get uncentered when you twist around too much. So you just got to find where that Adam's apple is, or the front of the neck, and just align that so it doesn't look too goofball. But yeah, cord seems to stay in there no matter what. We got these little packs here on the side. We got the holster down here, which I think can hold his gun as well as the silencer. I think it goes all the way through. Maybe you have to put in the gun here and then attach the silencer here, unless, is there a silencer? Oh, I think this is for the silencer. So silencer, gun. So just a heads up there. You guys can figure this shit out, but I just open this guy. I don't really go through the figure before I do the review. I just open it and go. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. You better. You hear me? So this is how I will display him. He is a communications guy, but He's in the military, so he might have to fire his weapon. I'm going to give this figure a 7.5. I do like this figure a lot. It just looks great, and it is reminiscent of the old Breaker. Kind of move these guys aside, getting ready for comparisons. Yeah, it's cool figure, and it is very reminiscent of the original back in the day. You know, you got the beard, you got the same color. He does have the drop downs, of course, here on the hips. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. Sorry, I'm getting a little goofy. Too much coffee, or not enough coffee, maybe. So let's do comparisons. Before we bring back our buddy Rock and Roll, we're going to bring in the Ram Cycle version of Breaker here. Now, I found this one totally acceptable. The helmet's kind of cool. I do like it how it includes the glasses. Come on. And then you got it coming off there. I don't know why this kind of... I recognize this face for some reason. I don't know. At first I thought it was like the rich fucking dipshit from Silicon Valley. Put some sunglasses on him or something. I don't know. But just looks like somebody. But yeah, I like the visor here. It's the color of it. It's kind of morphs or there's a little distinction there. It kind of goes purple and then blue. Pretty neat. Here's that gun. I can't remember where I got it. Maybe it was the Crimson Twins. Not sure. But this backpack, it wanted to fall off. See, look at that. It comes off so fucking easily. You got to line up his flak jacket with the hole on the figure. And then maybe, look at that, see? It just wants to come out. So, I think I'm going to put the backpack away. And I'll probably hold on to this figure. I still do like it. Maybe I'll put him on the Ram Cycle, which I still have in the box. I just grabbed the figure. But, yeah. This is not a bad figure. He does have the watch. You see that? It's all matte green on there. There's no display. You don't see anything unlike that. Look at that. That's just sick. That's attention to detail right there, and I like it. And I also like how the pivots of the hands. Look at this one. It's on the back of the forehand, where over here, which I guess this should be the gun-toting hand, but it's just, I want him to hold the gun here and be able to grab that knife easily, and it just seems like that's what a smart military guy would do. So, plus the holster's on this side, so I guess he would be reaching around with this hand, so maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. Would it be worth the swap helmets? Nope, because there's no plug-in on the back of that one. So let's put this guy back here. I'm gonna put that down just because. Now don't shoot yourself in the foot, Breaker. All right, let's bring in Rock and Roll. Our old buddy, our old friend. Fuck yeah, dude. This is what I'm talking about. Finally, because we got previous offerings from both, but it's like, man, this is not the Rock and Roll and Breaker that I remember. It sort of hits, but it's not perfect, you know, and these guys are way closer to the source material, to the originals, so that's what I'm going to display. At least with my, like, original G.I. Joe team. Now, we got to still get, like, Short Fuse and Zap and Steeler and a few other guys. You know, it'd be nice. We got Grunt. But we need some more from that very first wave. Going on, I just kind of went random style with the rest of these guys. I got Quick Kick. who we're getting a winterized version of in that 2-pack. And then I got Nunchuck. Really nice looking figure. I love this figure. Love these swords. They're like the machetes. Nunchucks, of course. These claw things are a bitch because they were hard to put over his hands. I basically had to do the Dremel and grind down the inside of these so that it would fit more evenly, and it was wasn't that fun. So there we got those guys. Get a good look there. Breaker and his homies. All right, bye-bye, homies. Let's bring out, except for Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll's going to have to stay on the stage here. We're going to bring in some bad guys. Starting out with good old Copperhead. Now, this guy is a favorite of mine, and it's just because he came with the water moccasin. Water moccasin was a sick vehicle. Loved it. And I like this character. The color, bright green and green. Guy's a swamp rat. So I do like that figure. And we got Zatara here. Zartan's sister. She's having a good hair day. I do like this figure. Just had some issues with stuff falling apart. I think her arm came off right here. It just popped off. Kind of annoying, but whatever. I think I fixed it somehow with some goo. I do like that hair though. And it pops off and you can put on like I think it's like a more mohawkish type hairstyle. Then we got a Red Ninja. Very old school figure here, but one of my favorites. I love these Red Ninjas. And I like the Night Creepers too. I feel like they're kind of associated or in league with each other. Kind of like the Hand and the Fist, you know, those figures. But, yeah, I got a couple of these, and I still have them new in box in a bin somewhere in my storage in my basement. So, I'm giving you guys too much info. Please don't rob me. Yeah, Red Ninjas, sick. Would love a retro carded where it's pinless and maybe some updates, but I truly do love that figure. So we got some Cobras there. We'll leave these guys here. Uh-oh. Mama home. All right, let's bring in some comparisons that are not G.I. Joes. Now, if we're talking Breaker, Breaker is a communications guy, and guess who else is? That would be Mr. Blaster, Autobot communications officer. Fucking cool guy. And here's the chick that loves to communicate. That's the Black Canary, DC Universe Classics. I love this figure. Now, it's the arms and the hands are a little bit wimpy, but these are old figures, but I do love the fishnets. Now, this is real cloth fishnets over the figure. Super awesome. Would love to get like some kind of a voice squealing effect on her someday, but she is just a tad fragile, I guess. Go, stand up straight. All right. And then finally, Got a dirty ass stormtrooper. Love the scuffage on this guy. So I hope you guys are cool with all the comparisons, you know, like I just love bringing these guys out. So it's not just a figure review. I'm also kind of, you know, showing off my collection and just making like contrast and comparisons. So I really do like these stormtroopers. Got the painted on weathering and scuffs. Really nice. So there we have it. That is our Breaker review. How could we improve this figure? Of course, is the segment I do like to do. Geez, I don't know. I really don't know. I think this is almost a perfect figure. G.I. Joe classifieds are killing it. It seems to keep getting better and better. So we're gonna wrap it up right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it all, guys. Sitting at about 230 subs. I love it. I appreciate that as well. I think at 250 we'll show you another display, and it's probably going to be G.I. Joe because that's my next largest display. It's almost overpowering on the shelves. Like, I don't have enough room for my G.I. Joes, so I gotta probably pick up another shelf and move everything and shift everything over because it's getting to be go time, you know. It's just not enough room, too many figures, and I keep ordering shit because I'm dumb and I'm overextending. So thanks again, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you on the next one, which is going to be Gamerverse Spider-Man Kingpin. All right, guys. Peace out. Later. Rhythms in the shadows where the cold wind blows. Life's a gamble on these streets, anything goes. Boom bap echoes through the alleys at night.